Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Thank you to our sponsors this morning, the MBVA Building and Mugs Coffee. They're having their second birthday celebration coming up soon. For more information on MBVA, go to mbvabuilding.com. And for great coffee, go to Mugs. And for more information, go to mugslebanon.com. Also, great sponsor this morning is Independent Merchant Brokers. For all your credit card, debit card processing needs, go to independentmerchantbrokers.com. Good morning, everybody. I am moving and grooving this morning, ready for action. Love that music. If I haven't told you before, and I know that I have, my son writes and produces all the music for my podcasts and live shows, and he is outstanding, based out of the LA area. Writer, producer, works for a large mastering company down there and travels with several bands. But the main thing, he can help you if you want music for your podcast or live show. He is outstanding, can write original music, and then you don't have to worry about any of the copyrights or anything like that. So anyway, just message me if you want more information on that. But here I am, all healthy and well. I am Russ, if you didn't know, and I am here with Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. You know, this show is all about how amazing people connect. And I have one of the most amazing people, good friend of mine, Jason Cooper, out of Dublin, Ireland, with me today. What a great guy. And it's afternoon for him there, but it's bright and early in the morning for me here in Salem, Oregon. So we are going to have a great conversation. Before we do that, though, I just want to remind you that I am Russ Hedge. I am a coach, marketing coach. I am an inspiration specialist here to inspire and encourage you. I'm also obviously a podcaster and live streamer of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Also, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, which will be picking up season 2 coming up mid-September every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and other assorted live shows. Also, the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. Yes, a book that's there to encourage and inspire you to live the life you choose. You know, life throws at us all kinds of things, but we get to choose the life that we live. We get to choose our attitude. We get to choose our mindset. You get to choose that. If you need help with that, with your life or your business, go to russhedge.com. I love to connect with people. I would love to help you in your business, in your life. Again, it's russhedge.com. That has all my connection points, the best way to connect with me. You can even schedule time to connect directly with me, and we can do a Zoom meeting and meet face-to-face, and I would love to meet you. And so do that today, russhedge.com. So anyway, enough about me. I'm just going to have Jason jump on in here. So excited to have him. Hello, Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
I am so good. Oh, man, they're so good. Now that I see your smiling face, all is good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's good to see that you're well, because I know you've been through a little bit of that COVID stuff that's been around a little bit. So
Yes.
glad to see that you're healthy and glad to see that you're back live and kicking again.
Yes, you and me both. I can tell you, I am just blessed that I did. My wife and I both got COVID. We did not end up in the hospital. We were able to go through it. And we had already been vaccinated back earlier this year. So we still had to struggle through it a little bit, but not nearly as bad as some people. So we really feel blessed. And I feel great to be back in action. So thank you.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes.
I'm very excited for today and so been looking forward to this for a number of days over the weekend. So I'm all ready to go ahead. So thank you very much for inviting me on here.
Oh, you bet. You bet. Well, I love talking with you, Jason, and you are so filled with wisdom. And, I just love what you're all about. And I love, people can go to your LinkedIn page, and I'm going to actually put that in the ticker here. But, you're a sales trainer, sales coach. You inspire people to build teams with relationships that last. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, I've always worked in the field of building relationships, like long-term business relationships, but as well as personal relationships, because I think they're almost interconnected in a way. Like I still connect with people when I was living in England, when I was my clients in London, and that was over 16 years ago. So now I live in Dublin, Ireland. I'm still connected with a lot of people, and I believe that business relationships is essential. Whether you do any actual business with them, which is we're all in business to sell our services, no matter what you are. But not necessarily when you network that you do sell to people. All you do is you build that common strength for that relationship. It's like a muscle, isn't it? Like you go out and exercise and you build that muscle. Relationships are exactly the same. I know our friend Ted Rubin says relationship is a muscle and you exercise it and you work out on it and you work hard at it because you just don't know when things will come your way or they refer something else to you. So that's how I work and that's how I've always worked. That's how I've connected with yourself, Russ, because I think that's fundamental in business, long-term, short-term or whatever. You don't really sell, you serve them, you inspire them, you find out what the challenges actually are, but you ask. So that's how fundamentally how relationships are working. There's a lot more to it than that, but I'm all about that. And that's what motivates me. That's what wakes me up in the morning. That's what drives me forward. And that's what I think about.
Well, you and I, that's why we get along so well, Jason, because it's all about serving people, inspiring people to be the best them they can be. I think a lot of times today we have the imposter syndrome going, everybody trying to be somebody they're not, trying to be like other people, or just feeling insecure within themselves. And I think what people need to realize, they have great value. They have great talents and abilities within themselves. They just have to be the best them they can be, take it one step at a time. And you really inspire people to do that. You inspire people, and then you give them good, actionable sales and marketing strategies to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely important to do that and really understand there is a process. But you mentioned imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome happens to us all. It's one of the biggest things that stops us from doing something in life. And we all know that one of the biggest fears in life, and that's where imposter syndrome comes from, is public speaking. When you stand up in front of a group of people and you present. I know you did that yourself last week. So it's one of those things, but it's a thing to come out of and overcome. And public speaking is this. It is training and delivering and coaching. That's public speaking because you are speaking to an audience.
Right.
And it's how well you converse and the language and linguistics that you use to influence and persuade your ideas and how they can receive them and how they can act on your ideas. Whether they've heard them or not, it doesn't matter, but it's action, 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 action. A great friend of me, and I like to do this quote again, is I know you know it, but why aren't you doing it? There's lots of people that have lots of incredible knowledge, and we all have incredible knowledge. But why aren't you practicing what you preach? Why aren't you doing what you say you're going to do? It's all in your head, and that imposter syndrome flows around again and again and again. Oh, I know that. I know that. I know that. Excellent. You do know that. But why aren't you applying it to your strategies? Why aren't you applying that to your life? Why aren't you applying that to your business life? Because it makes common sense when you say that, but just do it. Action is one of the things that we all get that in our heads from time to time.
Yeah, you are so right. I mean, oh my goodness, we like are always completely on the same path, the same link, because that's what I tell people constantly. A lot, it's not really when I'm coaching people, it's not what they know, it's what they're doing. Because people say, "Oh yeah, I know that," and I say the exact same thing you just said. Well, then why aren't you doing it? Because if you know that and you know that's good and that's what you should be doing, you should be doing it. And a lot of times it's because people also have limiting beliefs that hold them down. They have limiting beliefs and they have this glass ceiling that they keep bumping their head on. They just can't get beyond. And I think people need to realize that they are more valuable than they know.
Yeah, I think is get one of those big hammers. You have that glass ceiling and smash it. So you don't have a glass ceiling anymore. So you can dip your head up there and
That's right.
you pop over there. Like it is sometimes difficult for some people to actually do it. But once you actually achieve it and once you've actually done it, it makes a huge difference. You actually congratulate yourself that you're better than you actually are when you actually do it and actually stand up in front of people and go, yep, bang, I've done it. Or as we're all of us are sales professionals in this world, regardless of what vertical that you're in, when you pick up the phone and just get on and do it on a Monday morning off, and you doesn't matter what time of day, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, morning, afternoon, 10 a.m., 8 a.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., not 6 a.m. You don't want to call people at 6 a.m. But once you pick up the phone and actually start to do stuff and start to speak to people, that's an imposter syndrome with a lot of people as well. It's just that doing something like that, picking up the phone, speaking to clients that you've already got, finding out what they're doing. And, it makes a huge difference to what you do. And it really does.
Well, I think it's so true because I have 5 simple steps to connect in. The first one is start. Whether you're connecting or selling or doing life in general, people just don't start and don't move forward. They worry, they fret, they plan, they try to do all these things, but they never actually take the action to do it. And that's what it takes. And also it only takes one step at a time. This morning, I got back at the club working out and riding the bike. I went a little slower. I was swimming in the pool. I didn't go quite as far, but the whole idea was to get back into the groove and just do it. One stroke at a time, one step at a time. That cartoon where they show the 2 guys on ladders and one had little steps and he's taking little steps and the other guy's got these big gigantic leaps and he can't make it. It's too big. It's too overwhelming for him. But the guy with the little steps is taking one little step at a time is already 3/4 of the way up the ladder. And so we all have to remember that it only takes one little step at a time, right?
Yeah, I think you just chunk the big picture that you want to achieve, whatever that might be, over the week, over the month, over the year, whatever, and then chunk it right down into bite-sized chunks. It is, again, like I'm back training again after several setbacks of I've done my calves in. I've torn my calves 3 times this year. Now I'm just getting back, and what I've done, exactly what you've just said, an analogy that you've spoken to, is small little bite size, like running for 4K, which is like 2 and a bit miles or whatever, just so you start. And so you start to take action. And once you start to take action week in, week out, you actually start to achieve a little bit more and you start to feel better and you start running a bit faster or a bit further, which is even more better. But that's simplistic and that's an analogy for what you can possibly do in your day-to-day actions and about delivering good results. Again, it's a muscle.
Yeah, it is.
Serve.
Well, yeah, you're totally right. And you work out all the time. I see you running through the hills of Ireland constantly. And it's also the way we perceive life and the way we think of it. Emily is telling us, the key is to be aware of our thoughts because we are the product of what we think about, right?
It is one of the things I've been looking into really is the mindsets of successful people and how that works and how that operates. There is that process of some of the most successful people is the fulfillment process. And what that actually is, are you self-fulfilled? Are you constantly evaluating yourself rather than other people evaluating for you? Are you sitting back and going, well, am I achieving what I need to do? Am I evaluating that? The next part of that process is your control. Do you have a plan? Do you have a process where you're personally accountable for your actions? Again, accountable, meaning that you are, if you say you have a plan and it doesn't work, are you accountable for that? Does that make sense? Do you have that resilience? I mean, do you have that resilience for knockbacks? Do you have that resilience to just get yourself back up again and move forward? Like yourself after the COVID. You were knocked out for 5 days or whatever, but now you're back on track after being knocked back. And that's built in a lot more resilience inside of you because you don't want that and you probably hate that. And then you have your self-influence and you gain people's trust and respect with that. You secure resources that are available with you in an authentic, integral way that you can apply. And you got that knowledge behind you. You know what we say, I know you know it, but why are you using it? Yeah, knowledge inside you. If you don't know it all, you find the resources around you to help you and inspire you to move forward. And utilizing and using your capabilities, and if you don't have them, you get other people to help you alongside you. And then your communication, your body language, like your open gestures, your linguistic, your language, and your language, positive language patterns that are helping inspire people like yourself. And your tone and your tonality and the normal sort of stuff that you would expect from successful. So these are 5 steps that I would help people uncover because I believe that your mindset is one of the most important things that you can actually have. Without that, you're not going to achieve the way that you want to achieve.
No, you're completely right. I mean, it all starts with your mindset, your attitude, your perspective on life and all that you're doing. And I think you're right. People need to be held accountable. We are better together. We are better together. We are better as a community. This podcast is all about how amazing people connect. We need connection. We need community. When you talk about areas where we're not as strong on, we need people not only that help us where we're weak and they're stronger. I am not always the most on it and the organized. So as I scale my business, I have added an outstanding virtual assistant ever who is commenting on the show this morning, who's helping me do things, keeping me more detailed, keeping me more on top of things. So I'm thinking about that, but also I need people like you, Jason, good friends who hold me accountable that say, hey, Russ, how are you doing with that? Whatever we talked about, are you completing that? Are you staying on track? We need that accountability, and that helps build each other up, right?
It's lucky I have your mobile number there, so I can call you.
That's it.
I'm joking. I think another thing that I didn't say, which is quite critical, Russ, is have that sense of humor. Just relax a little bit. Christ's sake, come on! It is laughing at yourself, but having fun and making sure that you're humorous as well, because that adds so much of an impact. I'm constantly taking the mickey out myself because I think that's hugely. Oh, yeah, I've got Rob up there. Accountability is vital. Yeah, it is vital. I think humor is vital as well. People like yourself. And if you're humorous and you're smiling a lot, it's one of the Cialdini's laws of influence and persuasion. But if you're naturally that way inclined, and I know we've had these networking before in the past, and I'm probably the joker in the pack because, look, I am serious about what I do, and I love what I do, and I think it's my passion and my purpose, and it's also my dream of what I'm doing. But just take things a little bit light every now and again, as you already know, Russ.
Well, you got to have fun. I mean, I think the old adage that people used to say, "We're not here to have fun; we're here to work." That is completely wrong, because if you don't love what you do, if you don't have passion, if you don't have fun with life is going to be miserable for you. And who is going to want to live a miserable life? Also, who is going to be productive for whatever they're doing in their business or working for somebody else? Whatever you're doing, if you are not enjoying and passionate about what you do, you will not be productive and it will not work out good.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely. I concur with what you just said. I think that's amazing what you just said there, Russ. I think just having that little bit of fun throughout the day, but also I we say it every now and again, but just giving yourself a little bit of a pat in the back with going, "Well, I did a good job today," rather than going, "Well, that day was crap," or whatever it might be. But every now and again, if you do a job or you do a spreadsheet or you do, like today, I've been in spreadsheet mode and I'm going, "I've finished it now," pat on the back, and now there's a few changes, but I rewarded myself with an iced coffee, which I have here, and just say thank you, because I know I was going to be on the Russ Hedge show today, the inspirational specialist, because I wanted to get on track and I wanted to have a lot of caffeine in here so I can keep up with you.
Well, I got to tell you that just an inside tip for anybody that is in sales and marketing or business at all that wants to connect with people, it's coffee, 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 or something else from a coffee shop like a smoothie or something. You take those to people, and first of all, they love you. Second of all, they want to talk because they're drinking their coffee or their smoothie. And I'm telling you, that was the number one thing I've always told my team. You want to get to know somebody, just take them a coffee. And they're going to be like, or chocolate. That's the other thing.
Oh, chocolate works.
Oh yeah. One time I had a whole basket of chocolate and I went to an office years ago and they said to me, yeah, the gatekeeper, she goes, I'm really not supposed to let you go back. As I'm handing her a big chocolate bar, she goes, she says, but you do have chocolate. And she just opened the door and back I went. I mean, it's amazing. Those kind of things, being kind to other people. That's what it's all about. Being kind and loving. And your coffee reminded me of that.
I think it's adding the something quite extra to what you're doing. So you bring in the coffee, or you go and get donuts for them, or you get cookies for the team. Yeah. I've done that before. I think the last time I did, I bought a bit of both. I bought some fruit because I wanted them to be healthy, but really they look at the donuts and cookies, so I want that instead. So there's a balance there.
Oh yeah,
what you should do, but I think it's just the small things that you do in life. And I wrote an article on a blog a little while ago about doesn't matter, doesn't cost anything. Well, unless you bring in coffees, but sometimes just the small things that make a huge difference. And like bringing in coffee doesn't cost much, but you're thinking about them as opposed to thinking about yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's people that you serve. It's always about them. And it's how well you listen and learn from other people by understanding them empathetically and reflecting through to them. So I think that's massive. Coffee and chocolate, Russ Hedge. Oh, wow. Yeah. Which one do you prefer, milk chocolate, or do you prefer dark chocolate, Russ?
Probably milk chocolate. I mean, I'll eat both of them. But, it was funny because I was actually speaking in front of a Realtors Association last week. And I asked them to introduce themselves and tell everybody if they like chocolate. And first everybody looks at you weird, like, why are you asking that question? But then everybody starts laughing. And it's one of those things. I just throw in off the cuff things to make people smile and laugh and just have fun, right? So everybody who can't have fun with chocolate. And there was only one person that didn't like chocolate in the entire room. And there was a lot of people there. So, the thing that I love, Jason, about you is just your attitude and your approach to life. We got to let's be honest, real, authentic with everybody listening. We're just like everybody else. We have our days where we struggle and we don't want to start. We have our days where we just have a tough time getting moving and going. And it is up to us to be intentional and to make it happen in spite of that. This morning, getting back to the club, I'll tell you, honestly, I did not want to go. But I made myself go because I knew that would help me get back on track. And I knew it would move me and propel me forward to great things today. And so that's why I did it. And that's what I think people need to know. They need to be taking that action, whether they really feel like it or not sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, plus you've had your coffee and chocolates to keep you going this morning. Good morning.
There you go. I mean, of course. That helps, right?
Yeah, that absolutely does definitely kickstart your day. So I find that a bit of fun as well. So I think what you're doing at the moment on a day-to-day basis, pushing these out live, is phenomenal. So it really helps me and inspires me. And listening to what you have to say and your guests is absolutely awesome as well. So I constantly get inspired by that. Um, as you may or may not know, I work with a couple of other companies in the US. I work with a company called Telsmart.com. We deliver online sales training throughout the world. So that's a phenomenal company that I work alongside, and I'm one of their key trainers, which helps me and motivates me. It's all online how it works. We use a lot of neuroscience and neuro messaging behind that. And that's really important as well, just to distinguish yourselves from other people. So that's a bit of fun.
Yeah, well, I think that the main thing that we really need to, I think, zero on today as we wrap up, because our time is already running out. But I love
Cheers.
talking to you. We could go, yeah, we could go on and on. And Emily, who's listening, knows that I love to do a part 2, 3, 4. Now you have been on once before. We're going to have to do a part 3 now, Jason. We're going to have you schedule you back on later and pick this up. But I think the biggest thing today that people can leave with that you said is start with a good mindset, get yourself moving, begin, make things happen, take action on what you're doing. You are a person of value and you have talents within you. You just need to utilize them. Don't be held by your glass ceiling. Don't be held by your limiting beliefs, but move forward and put it together. You can do amazing things. You just have to put it together and have the right attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. It all starts with that attitude, the mindset. Once you have that, your product knowledge and everything else will come into play. If you have that wonderful growth mindset that you're willing to learn and you're willing to look back at yourself and to look and criticize yourself, but as long as you move forward and feed forward to yourself, because once you start to move forward, you excel throughout the day. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
me.
no,
That's my wisdom for today on a Monday.
wisdom from Jason. Yes. Well, listen, we've got it covered from all the way across the pond, both ends here today, and a little bit of encouragement and wisdom for everybody. And just really want to thank you so much, Jason, for jumping in today. And can you let everybody know how they get a hold of you? Because they're going to want to know a lot more about you. So how do they get a hold of Jason?
Well, here on LinkedIn, I'll just have a look. You'll see my face. I post a lot. My website is jasoncooper.io. Instagram, Jason A. Cooper. Twitter, Jason A. Cooper. Emails, jcooper@jasoncooper.io. Plus, I have a phenomenal #Global Sales Leader podcast that I produce. Obviously, I don't overlay with Russ's one, but I speak to global people that are experts in what they do, whether it's body language, psychology, coaching, all facets around that, including technology as well. So that's something that I love to do and gives me a bit more passion and purpose. And plus, it's my MBA that I learn phenomenal amounts from people like Russ, Hedge, and loads of other leaders like that. So
yes, and it's all about purpose, like you said. When people have purpose and passion, that's amazing what they can do. And I was blessed to be on one of your live shows, and I am so actually, I think 2 of them, and I'm
last
so
year.
yeah. So we're gonna have to do that again sometime. But I
Yes,
definitely
absolutely.
going to have you back on Marketing with Russ. We'll schedule after we get off here another one coming up here in a couple months, and we'll continue on part 3 with Russ and Jason. And thank you so much for coming on today. I do appreciate you, and thanks for everybody for listening too. Jason is definitely somebody you want to connect with. He is the man. And Ever's put the connection information for him in the chat also that's on the notes that I put in. Also, it's ticking across the bottom is LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another way to get in touch with him. So thanks, Jason.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you in a minute. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in today. What a great group. Really, I want to tell you that a man that has great purpose and passion is Jason Cooper, and somebody you need to connect with and get in touch with. And I appreciate all of you guys being on today. Rob, thank you so much. And we have Rosalinda, thank you so much. Emily, going back, just looking at who all is on here. Kenneth, thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. It's been just great having you guys on today and all the chat that's been happening. It just so great. And thank you, Dimitri, for being on today. Appreciate Dimitri so much. She's doing such a great job helping me and doing great. Jen, thanks for joining in today. It has been a great day. And when you engage with us and we're able to have a conversation, draw from things that you're seeing as well, it really helps everybody out. We are better together. We are blessed to have each other in this community. And I just want to thank everybody for being here today. Remember, every Monday and Thursday, it is 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So join in 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. One last thing, just want to thank our sponsors again, Independent Merchant Brokers and the MBVA building in Lebanon, Oregon, and Mugs Coffee. They were going to have their second birthday party tonight, their celebration, but they actually had to close for a while because of a small COVID outbreak with one of their employees. So they are actually going to pick that back up when everybody gets healthy and everything is clean and good to go, and they will be having that celebration. So just want to make sure to give them a plug today. Thank you all again for being here. Until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.